Hey everybody, it's Streamer Conscious Podcast. Don't forget...
I'm sorry, was I supposed to pick up there? Don't forget to check us out, follow the movie trivia, the movie draft. I keep saying trivia, I keep saying trivia.
It is a movie draft.
Movie draft. Check out the movie draft. Pick your movies and join your teams if you haven't already. And we're going to continue this rolling throughout. If you haven't started yet, it's not too late to join in.
You might not win, but you'll at least get close.
You could win. Who knows? If you're good.
Yeah.
You might be underdogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, they happen.
That can happen.
And follow us again next week, this week, and every week so that you can keep track of the scores and win prizes.
Yep.
Or prize.
A prize.
A prize. Maybe not a prize. We might not give away a prize.
We'll see what happens.
You know, you're rolling the dice.
Here we go.
We had a nice flow going. I didn't want to ruin it. So.
And welcome to Streamer Conscious Podcast. Joe's going to take over now. Here you go.
Oh, me? No, you can't just toss me in the mix there.
I am Joel Salty Cox. This is Joe, Pissed Off Joel Stout. And we also have Tara.
Hey!
Lover. And Kristen Elizabeth Postava.
What's up?
Because it was what now?
Kristen Elizabeth Postava.
Oh, yeah, you just ran through that so quick that I was like...
Alright, well, I'm starting this off with the story.
Oh, okay. Please.
But man named Jed, poor mountaineer, break up his family fed.
Say it again?
Does anybody understand Joel
yes,
today?
I understand exactly what he said.
That's because you're married to him.
Well, you said that you were going to start off with a story. And I said with a man named Jed.
Jed, poor mountaineer, barely kept his family
That
fed.
man named Jed. No, that's not what the story's about. So,
I understand.
Is it a story about John Bobbitt?
I didn't understand what you said, let alone understand what you said.
this is about a man named Mr. Birchill, right? So this guy, I read this story.
Principal from Boy Meets World?
No.
No, that's Mr. Feeney.
This just made me laugh because it seems like something that would happen to me in my lifetime. This guy got labeled as the world's worst hotel guest, right? This guy is going to, lives in Canada, and he's going to a
Is this the dude that went to Ireland?
Fairmont. I don't know.
Okay, go ahead, tell your story.
So, it's his first important job with the company. He really wants to impress them, and he's going to this conference at this hotel called the Fairmont. So, he had been in the Navy, and his Navy buddies were like, hey, listen, you're coming out here, bring us some of that pepperoni from Canada that we all like. So he doesn't want to make any of his friends upset. He basically, like any of us would, he buys a ton of pepperoni and sticks it in a suitcase. And
yes, like any of us would do.
Look, I would do it for my friends.
Are we talking actual pepperoni or is this euphemism?
Regular
Let's let the story unwind itself.
So, dude, has his normal suitcase, and he has this suitcase filled with pepperoni. Gets to the airport, gets to where he's trying to travel for his company's business. So, the suitcase with the pepperoni got lost on the airlines. And it took like a day to get back. And he was kind of nervous because he was thinking, well, maybe I don't want the pepperoni to go bad before I give it to my Navy friends, And so he thought, well, I'll put it by the window because his room didn't have a refrigerating system. So he thought, I'll put it by the window and it'll keep it cool until I can get it to my friends. Well, he's in a new place, and he thinks, I'm going to take a walk around and see what's outside. And he took a walk for about 4 to 5 hours, just kind of exploring the area of this place he was at, because his conference for his work wasn't until later on the day. He gets back to his hotel room and opens the door. And in his hotel room are 40 to 50 seagulls who had come into his room while he was away, had completely opened the suitcase that was filled with pepperoni. So for 4 hours, they were eating and shitting pepperoni in his room, right? So this poor guy is just standing there like, what the hell do I do now? He said, I didn't realize that seagulls slobbered. So there's seagull poop and there's seagull slobber all over the place and feathers and whatever. Well, when he opened the door, what happens with seagulls? They're going to get afraid. Now all 40 to 50 seagulls are just flying around his room, right? Flying around. They're knocking lamps over. They're knocking things apart. They're trying to get out the window. Only one window is open, so the rest of the moron seagulls are hitting into the windows that aren't even open yet and just getting all confused and whatever. Most of the seagulls got out, but a couple of them, couldn't. So he opened up all of the windows. All the seagulls get out except for one. So the guy takes his shoe off and he throws the shoe at the seagull, right? It doesn't hit the seagull. It flies out of the window and hits a guest that's coming into the hotel, right? Random guest is walking into the hotel, gets hit by some freaking shoe, right? What the hell just happened? So now the guy's like, I gotta get the seagull out of the room. So he trapped it in a towel, and he took it and he threw it out the window. So now another random guest that's just walking into this hotel gets hit by a towel with a seagull in it, right? So the guy's like, oh my God, like, I have a conference for work, like, right now, and I have to get to it. I can't deal with this seagull poop and slobber and feathers all over my room. I have to get ready for this conference. I don't want to make a bad impression on my job that I just got. So he goes and realizes that he's only got one shoe on. And he needs his other shoe, which he has thrown out the window, goes down to get it, it's covered in mud, right? Oh my God, it's covered in mud. Brings it back upstairs, and he starts washing it off. Well, he realizes instead of like having one shoe that's wet, one shoe that's dry, or wetting the other shoe, he wants to dry the one he just cleaned off. So he gets the hair dryer and starts to dry his shoe. And at that point, I guess something happened that distracted him, and he walked away from it for a second. Well, the shoe and the hair dryer fell into the sink filled with water, and he blew out the entire electricity for the hotel room. Right? The whole hotel now it has no electricity at all. And at this point, he goes, I think I need some help. So now I need you to imagine.
Now he says it.
This is where he throws in the towel.
I need you to imagine.
Took that much.
You are the poor man or woman. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to assume it was a woman, because I think he said it was a woman in the article. Who he just calls me and says, listen, I have a problem. I need somebody to come up and help me clean my room, please.
50 or 60 seagulls
Can
should sit all
someone
over
come
it.
up here? Now, you're a custodial staff member of this hotel room. You're just walking up. You have no idea what you're about to walk into, right? And you open the door to see lamps broken on the floor. Seagull shit all over the room, right? A hairdryer just engulfed in water in the sink. Windows are open. Breezes flying through, and there's seagull feathers all over the place.
And probably pepperoni remains.
And pepperoni
To add to
remains.
the, you know.
I can't imagine what this woman had to go through seeing this disaster in the room. Well, they ended up banning him from the hotel. They said, look,
Shocker there.
you can never come back. That's it. And this man ended up writing, 17 years later, so many years later, he ended up writing a letter of apology to the hotel. And they forgave him and said he could come back. And he ended up bringing pepperoni as a gift to all of the hotel members, to everybody that worked there. But I was reading the story online, and I can see it happening to me. I can completely see the whole thing just going down, and like one thing just snowballs into the next.
It's like one of those.
It's like this
The
chain
machine.
of events.
Yeah.
A Rube Goldberg,
Yeah,
Rube
Rube
machine
Goldberg.
of-
That's what I
of
was
device, right? You just
Just one
can't-
thing after another.
Of just
of
bird
just
shit.
horribleness and terrible things happening. I probably would have been really pissed had I been one of his Navy friends and he promised to bring pepperoni to, and then I'm like, man, the pepperoni's not here.
You know what's better than
What?
pepperoni? A story about a billion seagulls shitting in your room now. Because that'll quench your hunger right there.
I disagree.
That's what his thing is.
Speaking of poop,
Would you?
Speaking of poop.
I have
Now
a poop
that's how
story.
you do a transition, Joel. That's how a transition is done.
Before we transition, would you have just quit? I think had I walked into that room,
Right.
I would have just been like,
Oh, yeah. No,
like I would have
if
put
you're
both
like the
middle fingers
janitor
up in the
staff,
air,
yeah, you're
and
like,
been like, I'm out. Like I don't get paid enough.
my
for
grandmother
this.
would have been like, not paid enough.
Oh,
There's
then,
no
yeah,
way in
right.
hell.
See,
Sarah's grandma was a.
See, I would have been like,
custodial staffer.
fuck it,
Well,
this
she
is
was
what
a
she got.
maid for many years, and if she would have seen that, she would have been like, I'm done.
Screw you guys
this
and going
job
home.
sucks. You guys are
There's
all
50 million
horrible.
other hotels. I don't need to go there.
Joel, what did
Frank's
you say?
always
Sorry.
trying to.
I would have been like,
sex
screw
harass
it,
me
this is the
anyway.
best you got.
This is the best you got. So you would have been like, I've seen worse.
Challenge accepted.
Yep.
Nice, Joel. You're really tough. Like,
My mom
I would have quit.
used to be a social worker, and she used to clean up apartments and shit. And when my aunt died in like 93, 94, we had to clean her apartment, and it was a shithole. And I've watched my mother take shitholes and make them into like amazing looking places. So
What was it?
Speaking of shit,
Here's what Joel would have done. Joel would not have cleaned it. He would have called his mom.
no, I would have cleaned it and take pictures like, look what I did, Mom, before and after.
Alright, Sarah,
the-
speaking of shit.
the WWE gets restraining order against poop smearing fan.
Wait. WWE, the wrestling or
Yeah,
the
wrestling.
animal thing? Okay.
Animals WWF. Now
that's
wrestling's
right.
WWE.
Yeah.
Never keep track of
The company got
Smeared poop on
a
panda bears.
restraining order because they had a very real fear of Armando Alejandro Montalvo, who's allegedly been harassing the
You
company.
didn't roll
that. I
any
don't know
R's.
this guy. He
Since
sounds really handsome.
2015.
But,
Isn't that a handsome
but you
guy's
didn't
name?
roll any.
Alejandro?
I
He's good looking.
I can't really see him
You need
from
to roll
there.
the
He may or
R's.
may not be. Is he
Put
Roll
that
the-
good
picture up.
looking? He
He's
Roll
doesn't-
the
not
R's.
bad looking.
But
What?
that's a
Let me see
handsome
again.
guy's name. That's not.
No,
Yeah, no,
he's
he's
not
not
that
good.
bad.
No, he's not a good looking dude.
He's
But
not,
by-
like,
judged by name,
horrible.
like I would have like expected him to be like a young Antonio Banderas.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Right?
Armando
Somebody on the
Alejandro.
front.
Like that's not even a
Romance
name.
cover.
You don't go Armando Alejandro. You can't say that like that. Like, he that sounds like one of those names you have to stop and say.
Well,
that is
apparently he's
sexy.
disgusting because he smeared his own feces all over the walls at the WWE Training Center in Orlando in July of 2015. He continued his bizarre campaign against the company in the following days, wearing makeshift wrestling costumes, banging on the doors.
Ah, see, I
threatening
foresaw that coming.
On at least one occasion, he was subdued by cops at gunpoint.
Put the shit down!
Apparently, he resurfaced in March of this year,
Return that to
And-
the train.
began harassing employees, screaming, "My new wrestling nickname is Generation Flex because my dick and my balls is bigger than Generation X." His new wrestling name is Generation Flex because his dick and his balls are bigger than Generation
That's
X.
awesome.
Alright.
That's like his war cry. Like you know how like the Indians used to come and go like.
And apparently on April 4th, he posted some cryptic
What the
message
heck?
threatening the wrestlers and staff. So they went and got the restraining order. He has also threatened to use his own semen in a biological attack.
There we go.
Oh, biological warfare's no good.
That's the strangest scorecard. Oh no! Look,
Keep
see now the
your
picture there.
sperm
That's a bigger
yourself,
picture.
sir.
Yes, he know.
That is an ugly
No,
dude.
he
He's
does not sound like
guy.
Armando Alejandro.
Yes, he does.
No, he sounds like a
No.
So-
Ernesto.
That's
Ernesto the Molesto.
Speaking of poop,
Again.
one time our custodial staff
Well, we have the name for this episode, Joel.
located a Mountain Dew bottle in the bathroom that had a turd in it, right? And my question was, did
That's
they
impressive.
pick up the turd and stick it into the Mountain Dew bottle? Or did they, poop into the Mountain Dew bottle? Because my thought is...
Being
if
from
you
Ben's
poop
Hall.
into the Mountain Dew bottle, it would take a lot of skill.
Joel's got some college dorm.
being from
story.
Ben's Hall and having the Phantom Pooper living on your floor.
Who is the Phantom Pooper, Joel?
We had a guy
Well, he
Who?
wouldn't be a phantom if they knew.
who shit on the toilet, shit
On the toilet.
around the toilet,
Around
but
the
not
toilet.
in the toilet. He'd
Can
shit.
you repeat what he said?
he
He
would-
was dick the bird.
Then he would take shit and put it in the washer and the dryer.
Nice Flintstones reference, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you for getting that one. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Jim Dodd, our fearless GA, caught the Phantom Pooper.
Oh, no.
The dude ran to the bathroom and was standing facing the toilet. And Jim walked in. He looked and saw the people. What are you doing? Pooping? The hell you are. Your feet are backwards. Get the fuck out here.
Oh, no. That's terrible. Oh.
The Phantom Pooper. You know you're a criminal when you get a nickname like that. That's the kind of stuff that comic books are made out of.
Shared bathrooms in college are
Oh, no, they were
one of the
horrible.
worst things
And women
ever.
were disgusting.
Women are just as gross, if not more gross than men when it comes to bathrooms.
You know
the
what's
things
funny?
I've found
I don't
in
know
my
the
bathroom, I
men's
can't
room
even
being
describe
that
it.
bad. Like,
Oh, no, the
men's
women's
room
room-
was never that horrible.
There was a lot of people who would use the restroom and then not flush.
What
Oh,
you
And
you didn't?
I left.
What you never played
this
Dookie Roulette?
one person,
Oh my god.
their turds, I don't even know how they got it out of their
Wait,
body. It was
wait,
like a
wait, wait,
full-grown
wait, wait.
child.
Shit in a bottle? Ship in a bottle? There's something there. I'm working on it.
I keep working on it. But it was like these turds would be
It looked like
bigger.
they gave birth to a
Yeah.
gigantic burrito.
I can't even describe how huge they were. And I'm like, listen, there's
How did that
a
come out of your
plunger
body?
in the room. Like,
Skill.
break it up and flush it down. Why are you leaving it there? So that the
Kristen
rest of
was-
us
Wait,
Now
break
you
it
have
up?
to
come in.
Whoa, what's up? You said break it up.
Like, get a plunger and break it up.
Mashed
so that
potato
it-
mash.
So
Oh.
there's
Yeah,
no
like
way this was
mash out.
going down the toilet just naturally.
No, yeah, definitely. wasn't
Industrial
flushing
toilets
up.
can take a lot of shit. Literally.
No, this
And
one
it happened
was
more
not
than
an
once.
Industrial toilet. I ended up writing a note and taping it onto the door, like, listen, I understand you have massive shits, but you're going to need to do something to break it up so that we don't have to come in and deal with it. Even if you just tell the custodian, like, listen, I have a problem, and I take massive dumps every day. Can you
I
please
get
help
really
me out on this?
constipated, and then it all comes out.
Wait. Do you really want to be the one who addresses that situation?
Listen, I've been the one that has
Could you
addressed that
imagine-
situation before.
I'm saying
Relax.
you have to go to the.
Can you imagine-
You wanna go to the
can't leave it
custodian?
for somebody
Can you
else.
imagine going to Silly
I
Billy?
love my custodians.
Going to Silly Billy and saying that?
No, I can't. I don't imagine Silly Billy would understand the words coming out of my mouth. And then I didn't want to befriend Silly Billy because then I was worried he would just lean on his mop watching me take a shower.
He gave me
And
a
I didn't
toaster.
need that.
What?
He gave me a toaster one time.
Give you a toaster.
No, we did that.
Here's a toaster
before
for
you got
you.
it.
I did jack shit with that toaster.
And if anybody new to the show doesn't know about Silly Billy, we've talked about it once or twice before. He was our college janitor in our dorm room.
He got kicked out of Longenecker for staring at the dudes in the shower.
He would lean
So
on
they
his
sent him
mop
to
and
bins.
watch people shower. Right, so they sent him to our dorm because they're like, where do you put somebody who's that weird and creepy?
And on
this
top
guy's
of
in
that-
bins will deal with him.
On top of that, he got hit by a car after that.
After that?
Yes.
Are you certain he didn't get hit by... Poor guy? Poor us. We were college kids. We were like 18, 19 years old.
You
This
needed
dude's...
to report that.
I think that's how he got kicked
He
out of the-
was in Longenecker and got sent to bins.
People were like, he's watching me shower, and they were like, yeah, we know.
Send them
We're
to the
aware.
bins.
That's why we sent him down there.
Jim tells a story once he's sitting there taking a shower. He sees like a silhouette with a mop. Bill, you look at my ass. The guy like shambled and ran away.
That's crazy that we legit. That's like one of those weird things that like you feel like would have resolved itself. Like at a certain point, somebody would have went, you know what? We have some moral obligation and responsibility. We need to get rid of this guy. Let him collect unemployment. Like it's got to be cheaper than a lawsuit. But they just didn't. They just let it go on.
Huh.
Yep.
Well, at least we didn't have that going on.
That you know of.
Well, I didn't see anybody, so unless they were hiding somewhere.
Didn't the girl shit in the middle of the hallway though?
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure, yes.
So, I
Multiple
mean,
times.
Again, women know
The
better.
best part
And
was
we were living on the wellness floor where you weren't even supposed to be able to drink.
the
So
best
she
part
can't
was
even say that she was drunk. Or
they shit on the toilet, around the toilet, but never in the toilet. It's like what the hell, dude?
Yeah, statistically, you think
It took skill to shit on the toilet.
so speaking of toilets,
But I'm bummed.
Joel, why don't you tell everybody
Bravo.
about the lovely movie that we watched from the Red Box the other night?
I'm going to show you the trailer for the lovely movie we watched.
Oh no, don't please.
Oh no. Joe has to share the
This
pain.
can't possibly go in a good direction.
Joe has to share this pain.
No, thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh no 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 no.
This is-
I
no,
insist.
bring it around. You have my full attention.
So Joel was like, I've been wanting to see this movie for a while. I
Because-
can't believe that that the Red Box has this
Yeah, because I'm sitting there
in
like
it.
my normal night. I'll watch YouTube, and occasionally I'll see an awesome trailer. I'm like, that looks fucking awesome. I want to see that. And I'm like, okay.
So I was like, sure, let's go for it. Let's watch this. Yeah, no. No, I only
Is
made
there any
it,
preface this like
I
you
only
need to know
made
what
it
the movie's
halfway
about, or-
through the movie. It looked like an action movie. He told me about it. Like I saw the trailer.
Then
was like,
I showed
this
it. I
is
showed
great.
halfway through the movie. I showed her the trailer. So I'm like, I want you to understand that what I was expecting to see is not what I'm watching right now.
I was expecting like a Mad Max slash like action movie. You know, like
I'm trying to guess the movie. Like I'm trying in my head. I'm running through all these different things.
It's called The Bad Batch.
Make sure we don't have a preview or anything on this one. Is that legit? It? There's no sound. Or is this the sound? Okay, so it does have a little bit of Mad Max. We're like in the desert.
and there's a warning sign telling people that they are
Be
no
honest.
longer in the United States territory. They're now on their own.
So is this a comedy? Is it a drama?
No, it was supposed to be an action drama, like
So, yeah, alright, so young college girl on her own in the middle of Mexico or
yeah, it looks like Mexico or something. And she's running, and people in a golf cart are coming after her and just took her down.
Okay. Was there a dude earlier? Like, wasn't there a guy walking
Now
by?
she wakes up and she is tied down in this looks like a
Some sort of
junkyard or
abandoned-
something,
like
yeah,
some plain
in the middle of the desert.
graveyard.
and
Oh wait, that's I'm
They're
gonna
chopping
kick his
off their
ass.
arms.
That's the dude I'm gonna fight, right? That's him. Yeah.
Then there's Jason Momoa. He just shows up on a bike.
Me and Momoa.
And then
going
he's
at it. I'm gonna tear him up.
making a picture of a little girl. He's painting it.
All the things you've done have put you right here.
But that dude's. I
And
recognize
there's
him too.
Keanu Reeves with a really bad mustache on appears all of a sudden. And it looks like they're at like a rave or a party. It keeps jumping from thing to thing and it doesn't make any sense.
Right. It does look like a cool. This looks like a movie that I would watch though.
But it looks like
All the dialogues in the
Aside from
trailer.
the fact that Momoa's in it, it looks like a good movie. Like I'll watch Keanu Reeves and Giovanni Ribisi's in this one. It's like a star-studded cast here though. I don't know who that chick is, but
Here's the thing. Being good or bad.
So we see Jason Momoa getting ready to fight with a very large man who has a chain.
The Bad Batch is the name of this movie.
Mhm.
It kind of has a sort of what's the Tarantino one? Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
Mexico?
Like
Yeah.
it sort of has a Once Upon a Time.
But
in
doesn't that look badass? Is that not a movie you want to see?
It looks like a pretty decent movie. It's
So
definitely something I
So
would
you
watch.
see
Total-
this, yeah,
Total shit.
exactly. You see this trailer, you think, wow, it's gonna be this great action movie. Yeah, no.
But all the best scenes were in the
All
trailer.
of the
Yeah.
best scenes definitely were in the trailer. There was no action. Like,
As every movie that comes out anymore.
the plot really wasn't even there either. They really never explained why it was a
Let me give you a recap.
post-apocalyptic
I'll
world
save
or
you
whatever.
2 hours of your life. And it was 2 hours of my life.
You know, I bailed halfway.
Girl gets deported from America. Because that's what they do now instead of putting you in jail. So she's
So-
up.
This is like half Once Upon a Time in Mexico, and it's also Escape from LA.
Actually, District B13 kind of too.
Okay.
So she's in the
This
desert.
is Snake Plissken's daughter, isn't it? Is that
No.
how it works? Because that would make the movie that much better for me.
I wish. So she's walking. She finds a car. She sits in the car. Now, if you're hiding in a car and you see a motorcycle coming by, do you A, jump out of the car and run, or B, duck down in the car and hide?
Duck down in the car and hide.
No, she jumped out and
Is that
ran.
not a rhetorical question? Like,
And
I was
guess what
doing that
happened?
Thank you for answering, Kristen.
She lost a leg and an arm, literally,
Oh,
Because
spoiler.
man.
yeah,
because they're cannibals.
yeah. Apparently they're cannibals in this world. Like food is scarce, so they find people, hunt them down,
Unless-
and eat their limbs.
Unless you live in Comfort.
Yum.
Comfort is the city that Keanu Reeves runs. So somehow she escapes this woman who's been trying to butcher her, and she ends up getting caught by people in Comfort, and they give her like a prosthetic arm.
Yeah, like
or
she,
leg.
like-
No, wait, was this like? Cause it kind of had that look of like you saw like where they were gonna cut her arm off or whatever, and it looked like gruesome. Like, is it
Yeah.
gory? Is it like one of those movies that kind of turn your stomach?
It almost
or
got
do
gruesome,
they
but
just allude to the fact.
no, they
that
showed her
happened?
starting to cut it, and she screamed, and then they cut.
And then they cut. Yeah.
Okay. No. See, I don't like that because like, and I like a little more extra shock and that kind of thing in a movie. But when it comes to stuff like that, like what was the Hostel? Remember Hostel?
Mhm.
You guys
Oh,
watch it?
yeah.
I hate.
Oh, yeah,
no,
the-
not for me at all.
Okay.
Like that was too much. It was too far.
There's
Didn't
no
need it,
such
didn't want it.
thing as too much for me. I'm a huge fan of
So,
porn.
3 months later, she's walking through Comfort. She runs into Ribisi. He's just talking about the one thing you gotta know about life. The one thing you gotta know about life. So everyone's ignoring him, but her. So she going, hey, what's one thing about? I can't tell you that.
It's like cats.
It's like cats, where they don't
Uh-huh.
tell you the 4 reasons, to be
The
cats.
4
and-
reasons, and then there's only 3.
So they flash forward like another couple of days. Apparently she's walking around. She's having a bad day. And this woman with this little girl are like picking through trash. And for some reason, the girl goes, let me shoot this woman and take this child.
She gets to
Right,
shoot
right.
the little girl in
The
front of her.
one-leg woman shoots the mother and takes
Yes.
the kid.
Yeah.
It's not her mother. It's just a woman with the child.
That's with the child.
But the kid's not in any danger of this.
No.
Okay, so she wasn't like vengeful.
No.
But the child doesn't belong with her. The child belongs with Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
He's like her father or whatever. Because we see him like
Taking care of her.
taking care of her, and he was like doing a painting
Is
of
this,
her.
is this like a movie where Momoa's gonna be the good guy? Because you
There's no good guys. There are no bad guys in this movie. There's just fucked up shit.
I hate Momoa.
So then, she's walking around with this girl. She gets her a bunny rabbit. And then they go to this rave, and the girl just disappears.
The
So-
little girl.
Yeah. Keanu Reeves takes the little girl.
Who doesn't take a kid to a rave?
Yeah. So
She's on all these drugs, and
Momoa's like trying to find this girl. He's got those little sketch pad because apparently he was a tattoo artist. and he shows this crazy dude, like I mean crazy, like like shopping cart crazy dude. This picture, and the
actually
guy
does have a shopping cart.
Yeah.
But he actually does have
and
one.
the dude won't give Momoa any information. He wants to be drawn by Momoa.
So he's like, I'll tell you if I've seen this girl. If you
But there's
draw
no
my
dialogue
portrait.
with this, mind you. He's just miming like, draw me and I'll give you information.
Draw me like one of your French girls.
So he does, finds out what this girl is. This girl's stripping her balls off, actually to lose to the girl. So now her and the girl and Momoa team have to find this girl. And at some point,
I think that's about when I was like, nope,
Yeah.
I'm done.
yeah, so at some point,
Nothing was happening.
Momoa and them are looking for the girl.
You're actually explaining it as like a movie that
Yeah,
now I
no.
still want to watch. Like, this is still a good movie that everything you're saying is not turning me off of this movie, though.
No.
This
I
took,
believe that it's
this took an
garbage.
hour. This
Yeah.
whole thing took an hour.
And a lot of the time there's no dialogue.
A lot of
and
pauses.
Her just staring into space, like,
So then, like, they're staring at each other, and, like, some dude drives by on a motorcycle. He's like, I'll give you this gasoline for that girl. I was like, okay. She's like, whoa, what the hell's going on? Momoa kills
oh,
him.
it's the big guy with the
Yeah.
chain that we saw in the...
So, like, that
preview.
whole scene was, like, 5 minutes, and there's, like, 2 seconds of action.
Yeah.
So, had it been edited better, had they talked...
If they made it a half an hour TV show,
It would have been a good movie.
no.
No, it would have been...
It still wouldn't have been a good movie.
So then, Momoa and her drive off, and they're in this cave. And she starts talking to Momoa about tattoos. So then also Momoa gets shot in the head, in the chest, out of nowhere. Some dude comes walking by and takes the girl back to, like, Comfort, which is, like, Keanu Reeves' little town. So then the girl, like, apparently feels guilty, and starts looking for the girl again.
The little girl.
Yeah, the little girl. And finds out that Keanu Reeves has her. So, he decides to go visit Keanu, who has a bunch of pregnant women. That's his harem. But he has a harem of pregnant women with AK-47s.
I mean, in concept, that sounds amazing.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
But
this
nothing
is not
was
selling-
happening.
Like, you're not
Yeah.
not selling this movie.
Where
to me.
is
So
the
then-
action?
A lot of this stuff sounds fantastic.
So then Keanu Reeves has this whole dialogue with her about how he... You know where shit goes? You don't know, because it...
Trained to-
To Alabama.
Well, apparently it goes down the sewage system that he had built, because
That's
everyone has a
joke From
job.
our last podcast.
So this whole dialogue goes on, and you're like, what the fuck is this about? He's like, what are you here for? She goes, I just want to hang out. It's like, okay. So they get her a room. So remember she has a fake leg? She takes her fake leg off, pulls out a gun, holds the pregnant one at gunpoint, comes out like, I want the little girl, or I'm shooting this pregnant woman in the face.
Again, you're not selling this movie on me. That sounds fantastic.
No, it really isn't.
So they get the girl. So they finally give him the girl, and the girl apparently has a bunny rabbit still. And Keanu Reeves looks at the little girl and goes, "Now, honey, you take care of that bunny rabbit for me." So they get a golf cart.
That's the end of the movie.
That's where she's at, right there.
Okay, done.
Perfect.
So they get a golf cart and they start driving off. She's like, "You let me out of the gate. I'll let the woman go." So they do. So right as he comes out of the gate, here comes Jason Momoa putting on a moped,
Was Jason Momoa naked at any point in time in this
just
movie?
think
just
he's
shirtless the whole
shirtless.
time.
Shirtless?
Yeah.
Alright, again, you're still selling me on
So
That's the worst part.
he gives the little girl to Momoa, and then she's like, "Hey, you want to hang out?" He's like, "What the fuck's your problem? I don't want to hang out with you."
You stole my daughter.
So the little girl like, "I want spaghetti. They're making me spaghetti. I want spaghetti."
And then the girl gets shot in the head and the movie's over.
Nope.
Oh.
So Momoa takes the little bunny rabbit, walks away, snaps its neck. And next scene, they're all eating rabbit around a fire.
Stew.
No, it's just barbecued rabbit.
Okay.
And they're just sitting there eating rabbit, not saying a word. That's it.
And that's the end.
I'm super lost in it, but you have not talked me out of watching this movie. Like that was none of that really.
I'm willing to bet you $1 you will want your 2 hours back.
I'm not saying I'm going to enjoy it, and odds are I'm probably not going to watch it because I haven't finished Dexter, and that was over like
And
7
what, you
years
said
ago.
weeds?
Right, yeah.
Here's a question. What is the worst movie you've ever watched?
Oh.
The Last Batch.
That
The
one?
Last Batch.
That has hit
That's it.
rock bottom.
Did you see
Okay.
what was the Rob Zombie movie?
Oh,
The Hills Have Eyes?
No.
No.
House of
House of the House of Corpses?
House of the Thousand
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait,
that
was
was pretty bad.
There was two of them.
I don't-
House of the
all of
Corpses,
them were bad.
And there was another one that were
I don't remember it.
Neck and neck.
No,
I
they were horrible.
couldn't sit through it.
See,
So-
now my worst movie is one of Joel's favorites. and I have to say on my list.
But
my
have
number
you
one-
watched it
Do not
I
say
recently?
The
haven't
Big
watched it
Lebowski.
recently. No, I love the freaking Big Lebowski. Are you crazy?
You better be talking about cuffs.
No, I'm talking about Freddy Got Fingered, and I know that you love this movie.
Yes, I do.
But
It's a terrible
I don't even.
Daddy,
think I
would you
can
like
sit
some
through it.
sausage?
It's a terrible,
No,
terrible movie.
I don't
but it's
think I
not
can
the
sit
worst.
through it, Tara. I don't know. Seriously, that movie.
He
made
jacks
me-
off an elephant. What's not to like?
There's so many things wrong with that statement.
And he jacks off a horse.
Hey Joel,
So-
if your Uncle Jack was stuck on top of a horny elephant, would you help your Uncle Jack off the horny elephant?
This is what's the podcast
That's what.
has become.
Oh god, it's such. That's my number one.
Really, it's just a bunch of dick and fart jokes. Whenever you guys.
I can't stand
And poop,
it.
apparently.
So,
I can't stand it.
apparently Tara have seen two of the world's lowest box office movies. Creature.
I can't even remember. You were
Oh,
talking
Creature.
about Creature this morning, and I cannot remember
Yeah.
what it was about.
You
Let's
don't
find
need
the
to
trailer.
remember.
Oh, we're gonna
All
watch
right, we're
another
gonna watch the
trailer.
trailer.
No, not another
It's like the
trailer.
laziest podcasting every time we put up a trailer.
No, you
I
do not
just,
need
I
to
can't
watch.
remember.
You
I
only
know I
stuff have to
watched
go
this
through the
movie, and I can't
trailer.
remember
Don't
it.
you tell me about being lazy.
I honest to goodness can't remember this movie at all.
Because you didn't
Who's in
see
it?
it.
Anybody?
Is there anybody in it that's
Eggs.
an actual, like,
You know
known
what's,
actor?
what kills me is one of the movies that it's not my least favorite movie by a long shot. It's a movie I definitely don't like, and it hurts my heart to say I don't like it because it has Matt Damon and Casey Affleck in it. It's called Jerry.
Yeah.
Jerry with a G.
I
And
have never seen that
It's
before.
well, no, and nobody has because it's a horrible, horrible movie. And it happened like they. Ben Affleck and Matt Damon did Good Will Hunting, and it was
Right.
a huge box office hit, and they won all kinds of awards and
Sure.
everything, and it was blasted out. And it's still to this day one of my favorite movies, if not my favorite movie. Then they went on to write Jerry, which is basically here's the whole story, and it's about an hour and a half to I don't think it's quite 2
The
hours.
story you're about to tell us?
Yes, and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna tell you before Joel finds this trailer.
Creature?
Jerry is about Matt Damon and
Oh,
Casey
not the
Affleck
trailer,
go on. They're going out into the desert.
What year was
They
it?
get lost in the desert. They have to find their way out of the desert.
Okay.
They don't talk pretty much the entire time, and then they get out of. Well, then I'm going to spoil it. Casey Affleck dies in the desert, and Matt Damon gets out. End of the movie. Roll credits.
I will tell you a great movie that just recently came out where nobody talks, because both of you have been talking about movies where people don't really have a lot to say through them. But we just saw A Quiet Place, which was
And we don't want to spoil it for
I'm not
anybody
going to spoil it for anybody, but it is a fantastic movie.
because
the
it
one
relies all on
character-
the visual. Because
That
is
looks
actually,
good though.
The one character is actually deaf, so they learned the entire script in sign language. There was a sign language interpreter on set every day, and that movie is just absolutely
That's John
thrilling.
Krasinski, Emily
It
Blunt,
is.
and their kids.
Basically, it's you're trying not to make noise because
These monsters
they
that
will
live in
yeah.
the
kill
woods
you
will
if you
kill
make any kind of noise at all.
Right.
and so it's just trying to
Um,
live in that kind of
My
way.
only issue with that, and I think everybody's kind of made point of this, so I'm not I'm not breaking any new ground here
Please.
whenever I say it. Is in the commercial, or the trailer, they show the kid playing with this like little rocket ship, and then he like presses a button on it, goes
Right.
and it's like, why? If you lived in a place where there's these
That's an
monster creatures,
extremely important part of
And
the
it
movie.
gets explained.
It doesn't get explained. That's basically one of the most important parts of that whole movie.
All right.
That
We'll let it go
scene
because I
in
haven't
itself
seen it yet.
basically is the catalyst for the rest of the movie.
Okay, I think Joel has the
so-
Creature trailer up.
He's a young kid, he doesn't.
Creature came out in 2011. One of the worst opening weekend movies ever.
Bubble Factory.
Well, it's already starting off fantastic.
I like bubbles.
Oh, what a great song!
In a nice swampy area.
Is the Walligator? Are we in Mississippi?
It's like True Blood.
Is this New Orleans?
I was gonna say I think it's Louisiana.
I never saw this movie.
I told you this.
Like, it looks like a Creature from the Black Lagoon.
This is Swamp Thing.
No, it's not. Swamp Thing is better.
This
More
is
like
Swamp
Mud Thing.
Yeah, no.
It had
Yeah, this is Swamp Thing.
McCad, Brooks
Wait, that
in it.
dude, the old guy was, I think,
Yeah,
was he
Sid
the guy
Haig,
from,
and he's in the Robbie Zombie movies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
House on Thousand Corpses and everything.
And McCad Brooks, who's was Eggs in True Blood.
Oh yeah.
He's also on Supergirl.
Still haven't seen
Gotcha.
True Blood.
walking up to a cabin, looking in the window.
You know what would
door.
be great is if right
Nothing
now
happens.
Bruce Campbell jumped out from the cabin with a chainsaw on.
Terror has teeth. Oh, she's so sad.
The monster's name is Lockjaw.
Lockjaw is terrible. He needs a tetanus shot. Egg still has those muscles too. He looks good.
Does the black guy die in the movie?
I would
Nope.
shoot first. No.
He does not die.
Woohoo.
Does that chick
That
take off
doesn't
her
So
look
shirt?
that
basically, it was a.
Who is she?
Ooh, ooh.
I
There's
recognize
Egg
her, too.
with no shirt. That was nice.
Do we see her with no shirt?
I don't know,
bra?
but Eggs
I'm
from
so-
True Blood was standing there with no shirt. He looked
I
great.
said that he remixed it.
I know you. Well, you just said it, but I was just reiterating the fact that he had no shirt and he had his nice little laugh.
Basically, it was just these group of friends, like, you know, every horror movie starts off with. They're in the backcountry of Louisiana, and they unearth a terrible secret that unleashes a monster from the depths of the swamp.
So I have a terrible memory, but I don't remember us watching this movie, did we?
I don't know if you...
No, Karen and I went to go see it.
Oh, you two went to see
The
it.
film-
That's
You
why you
didn't
don't
watch
remember
this.
it.
The film...
I thought you were raking your brain over there trying to figure out when
Well,
it
now
was.
I need to see this movie. I'm kind
It
of
only
upset I
earned
didn't check it out.
$327,000 opening weekend,
Okay.
and it was in 1,507 theaters.
I don't know how much money it made, but I recently watched.
That's not good.
What was it? It has Thor, but before he was Thor.
Cabin in the Woods.
Cabin in the Woods.
Fantastic movie.
Such a terrible movie.
No!
Are you out of your
Oh,
mind?
so bad. I
Oh
liked
my
it because it was so
God.
bad.
That
but
Cabin
it
in
was
the
bad.
Woods is top 10. One of my favorite movies of all time. You have to
Such
be
a
out of
bad
your
movie.
gourd.
And the dude who one of the nerds in the room, I can't remember his name. Oh, it's gonna drive me nuts. I love him and everything he does. I always love him.
The pothead?
I can't believe you did not like
The
that
shorter
movie.
of the two. There's the two guys that ran the station.
Oh, that guy.
No, not the pothead.
Do not listen to Joe. If you have an opportunity to see Cabin in the Woods, you need to go out and
Well,
see
no,
that
you
movie
can, you
right
can
now.
watch it. And I didn't. I didn't hate it. I just think it was a terrible movie. I enjoyed it for its terribleness. But you really have to be in the mood for a bad movie.
But it wasn't a bad movie.
It was such a bad movie. It was
What?
so bad of a
I
movie.
don't even know how to describe how wrong you are right now.
There are so many bad movies out there, and all you
That
have to
was
do
not
is...
one of them.
You know, like sometimes, like you just really get in the mood for like just like a B-rate crap movie. Okay,
This wasn't a B-rate crap movie. You were
it was
expecting a crap
absolutely
movie.
a crap movie. It was such.
It was not.
It was
It was
definitely.
not.
This was
If
bad,
you're
but in a
listening
good
to this
way.
post right now, you need to comment on how wrong Joe is, please. Go
No.
ahead and
We're all
watch
gonna
it.
comment.
Yes, by all means.
And please comment on how hot Chris Hemsworth is.
Yes. It was a scary movie that knew it was a scary movie.
Yes, but it was over the top. It was a little too much.
Go big or go home,
Have
Joe.
you seen a horror movie?
I
Go big or go
I've
home,
seen
man.
some scary movies before, and there's ones that are. Yeah, I'm not a big scary movie fan to begin with.
Oh, that's what your problem
But
is. See,
I-
you
Oh,
didn't
you're one of
understand
This
those
what
wasn't
was
scary.
happening.
At no point in time was
No,
I like.
it's a comedy. That's the thing. You were going into Cabin in the Woods thinking it was gonna be a horror film.
For God
When
given
it is
unicorn.
I don't even think I expected.
Yeah,
I didn't know what to
there's a
expect.
unicorn. There's a merman in it. For God's sake, it's
Right.
hilarious.
It was.
It's like-
but it wasn't even funny to me either. Though, like it was good.
It's
It
like
was
Evil
good in a
Dead.
bad way.
Anything Bruce Campbell
That's
makes.
exactly
what
the
it
point
is.
that I was trying to make. It's like I love Bruce Campbell movies too, and I will watch a Bruce Campbell movie, and I loved all the Evil Dead and the Army of Darkness and all that
Right.
stuff.
That's
But
what this was.
but I loved them because they were so bad. And this movie was. I didn't love it, but I liked it because it was so bad. I accept it for what it is.
I'm really disappointed. I mean, I can't make you like something, but man, I love that movie so much. And
It
I
was
love
I'm
lovely.
telling you though, if you want
What's
to
the-
see bad movies, you need to go to Netflix.
What's
Just
my
look for
West-
any of their
Netflix
horror
and chill.
movies, and it's
What's my West
they're
Wing
made with like a
Man's
$10
name?
budget, and you know.
West Wing Man. What's his name? That was in Cabin in the Woods.
Putting me on the spot.
I'm trying to think of his name.
That's
I can
the
just
dude
think
I'm
of
talking
Josh
about.
Lemon Lyman.
That's the guy I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
I can think of his character, Josh
yes.
Lemon Lyman, and I can't think of his
Yes,
real name.
that's the guy I was
And I
saying.
love
Bradley
him.
Whitford.
Bradley Whitford.
Brad
I love
Whitford,
him
yes.
so much. We got to meet
He was
him
in Get
Ohio.
Out. He was really good in Get Out.
You know
by
what
the
he
way.
was in that I loved him in? It was he did
Travel. It's the throat of the traveling pants.
Yes,
Billy
because I've watched
Madison.
that multiple times. No, he was in a movie. He was in a TV show, a series. It didn't
West
last
Wing.
very long. No, it was him and Colin.
Sunset Boulevard.
No, not Sunset Boulevard.
Sunset on
Sunset on whatever.
The good
What's that
guys.
It was called The Good Guys.
Okay.
That's totally
It was
wrong.
him and Colin Hanks, Tom Hanks' son, which surprisingly, that apple could not have fallen farther from the tree because Tom Hanks, world's greatest actor.
Right.
Colin Hanks, so at best.
Hmm.
But yeah, him and Colin Hanks were in this show where they were these
Yeah,
detectives.
apparently.
And in
It
his
was
character-
21 episode season.
It should have been 101 episodes, is what it should have been. It was canceled way too soon. It was such a great
Firefly.
show. Yes, the Firefly.
Oh, can we not get into that right now?
By the way, Transylvania was the other worst movie we saw that grossed the theaters.
What movie?
Transylvania.
Transylvania.
It was in 2009. We had just started dating, and we went and saw that piece of shit together.
I love that we
I
just
can't
did an
even
entire
imagine what you
episode.
did in that theater while you were bored.
Oh, let's talk about that. Now the show got
That's for
interesting.
other movies,
Let's,
and that's not
Yeah.
the
Let's,
podcast.
let's
Yeah,
find
yeah.
some more
Good
interesting-
movie.
There's actually people in that theater, so no.
Oh, alright.
That doesn't mean you can't do stuff. Listen, I've got some stories I can tell you.
Depends on what you want to do.
Yeah.
See if there's anything at the bottom of this popcorn bucket.
Oh,
Who hasn't strategically... Try that word again. Strategically... You know what? It's not even funny anymore. I had a thing
all
I was
good.
gonna say, but I'm done. On that note, I think we need to wrap this one up.
Really? You don't want to go another half hour?
If you want to. You know what,
With
Joel?
our-
If you really want to, I say
No.
we do it. What would you like to talk about
I
for the
think
next
he's
half
good.
hour, Joel?
Let's talk about National Lampoon's Dorm Days.
no.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you next week here on streamofconsciousnesspodcast.com. Be sure to follow us and like us on Facebook, Twitter, and Player FM. Player FM? FM something. Google FM. Player Google FM. Make sure you follow us on Player Google FM.
Or whatever the hell it's called.
And also on, Joel, what's our other thing? The other thing. Follow us on the other thing.
And tell Joe how wrong he is about basically everything.
That's the difference.
Don't worry. No,
Dave.
The Wednesday this comes out, Dave will tell me everything Joe did wrong.
Good job, Dave.
Bitchin' Dave. All right. See you next time. Night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
And disco.